Okay, so now we're going to do part three. Is to finish off this exercise is the bank reconciliation. Um, and like I say, people should keep referring to this document as kind of a guide. So the bank reconciliation is on page 35. Because like I was explaining in class the last day, if you go on to use this in your job, um, hopefully you'll have a good understanding of Sage from this course, but you're never going to remember everything. So in practice, if you're using it in your job, you should be using this manual that I'm sending you here. You can also use manuals on Sage website, YouTube videos, different things. So, like I was saying, um, just get into the habit of kind of self-learning and teaching yourself different little things. And if I've sent an email there with instructions to download a free 30-day trial for yourself, and you can mess about with different things and just explore the different things that Sage can do, the different reports it can run and all that kind of stuff. Um, but yeah, definitely good to get into the habit of kind of self-learning and teaching yourself different little things. So, um, on top of what we cover in this course, because that's what will happen in practice if you go into a role or a job where you'll be using Sage on a daily basis. You'll come across stuff that maybe we didn't cover in this course, or just some little nuances on a transaction that we, maybe covered a different way, stuff like that. So it's always a learning process. But okay, let's do the bank reconciliation. So on tab 2 of the exercise is a sample of a bank statement. Okay, so this is what we're going to be using to reconcile our bank. So we go to bank accounts button or module, and all our money is in the bank current account. So you can see the balance over there, 61952. So then we go to the reconcile button up at the top. Okay. And then if we follow the steps on here, so enter the balance per the bank statement as at the month end date. Statement reference, that's just kind of a name or a date, and the bank account reference, so you don't need to change that. And ending balance, so let's put in what we see as the ending balance in our bank statement. So 61552. So 61552 is what's on our bank statement. We're not at the end of the month yet, so we can leave the date as is. Normally you'd be doing this maybe in the first week of the month, and you'd be reconciling it as the last date of the previous month. And now you can add in, if you look through your bank statement here, you can see there's bank charges here of 150. You can add them in there and record them here, but for the purpose of this example, I'm just going to do it the more manual way, just to kind of get it into your heads if you're new to this, just so you see how the reconciliation works. Okay. Okay. So we typed in the balance that's on the bank statement, 61552. And this is bringing us all the transactions that are recorded in our bank account on Sage. So it's a manual process where you bring up your bank statement and go through line by line, see have you got it recorded, and then you reconcile it. So first we have our lodgement of 84,500, which we can see here, receipt 84,500. So we can click the match button and it brings it down to the bottom, saying that we've reconciled that one. Then go to the next line, lovely looks, we have a payment 4920. I can see it there, so click on that, match that, so it brings it down to the bottom table as well. And just do that to the rest of them as well, whatever you can see. Primark 14022 payment, sorry, receipt. I double clicked on it there and it just went down to the bottom. Then rates of 550. Yep, we can match that as well. Monthly salaries of 500. Yes, we match that as well. And then our motor vehicle purchase of 30,600. We match that as well. So you can see now that the matched balance 61952, which was what was on our bank balance on Sage. versus the statement balance that we put in. So there's a difference of 400. So we matched all the balances that we had on Sage. So if we go back then to the bank statement, so there's these two balances here that we haven't got on Sage. So that's the difference. So now we need to enter those in. Okay, so we need to add bank charges, so payment of 150 and a payment of Vodafone for 250. So let's do the bank charges first. Still in the reconciliation screen, so there's a button up here for bank payment. From the bank account. Bank charges, nominal code. And in case you're wondering about how the ledger gets updated when you record a bank payment, because you're selecting the bank account you're paying it from, which is linked to the 1200 nominal code. So if you make a payment out of that, it will automatically do a credit to this bank account. And debit, you select what the other side of your journal is here. So not nominal code is the payment going to. So this is bank charges. So it's going to be, I think seven, something beginning with seven. Bank interest paid for bank charges 7901. Was there bank charges, and it was, how much did we say? It was 150 euros. So 150. There's no VAT on bank charges, so make sure you choose a tax code 0. So that's 150, and then we save that and we close. Okay. So because we processed that through the reconciliation screen, you see that's now added in here down to the bottom, and it's brought our difference from 400 down to 150, down to 250. So that remaining difference is the supplier payment to Vodafone. So Vodafone 250 euro. So supplier payment, Vodafone. Okay, so you'll see that there's no invoice coming up here for us to allocate to 250 against. So because it's a supplier, we are better off. Let's just discard that. Okay, do you want to post this as a parent on account? No, let's just discard. Close this. And let's just save the progress here. Okay, now let's go and do an invoice for for Vodafone. Suppliers. The simplest way to do this is you wouldn't have to create a purchase order because you don't have any product code for phone bill or monthly phone service. So the best way to do this is actually go to suppliers, go to Vodafone, go to batch invoice, nominal code. We change that to look for phone bill or something like that. So there's telephone and fax or mobile charges. We go to mobile charges and we put in the details, Vodafone bill, and then in your net. So just pay attention to this now. So the amount we paid them is 250. So that would obviously be the total amount, including VAT. So if we just put in the 250 into the net, into the net field and hit this button up here, calculate net. So we're really saying 250 is the gross, and we want you to calculate what the net is. But sorry, first of all, you need to make sure you're on the 23% VAT rate. So 23%. Okay, back into the net field and hit F or this button here, calculate net. So it's calculating that the net amount is 203.25, and then the 23% VAT will be 46.75, and that will give you your total of 250. Okay. And then we can say that we've also paid this amount. So rather than going back out to the bank screen and hitting supplier payment and putting 250 in there, like some of the other examples we've done, we can do it from this screen as well. So amount paid, 250, and save, and close that. So now Vodafone, we don't owe Vodafone anything there. Okay, and now we'll go down to complete our bank rec. So back down to bank accounts and select your current account and hit the reconcile button. We'll go to use saved because we've saved our progress. Now we can see that there's a new payment in here that we've just made, that 250 payment to Vodafone. We can click on that and match. And now you can see the matched balance is equal to the statement balance. So we've successfully completed our bank reconciliation. Now we hit the reconcile button. Okay, and we're done. And if you want to double check, you can hit the activity button, and there'll be an or will appear in this column showing that all these balances are reconciled, and date or, so the date you did the reconciliation, 15th of the 11th. You'll be able to run reports as well. In every button or module you're in, you can hit the reports button, and there's several different variations of reports you can run, but this is just a quick way in the activities window to see that your reconciliation has worked. Okay, so that is where we have completed our reconciliation. Point to note from previous exercises and stuff like that, if so this is where we had balances in our bank statement that we didn't have in our internal records, so we updated our internal records because we're happy that they were correct. So if there was balances the other way around, balances in our internal records that we couldn't see here, well, chances are it was maybe last day of the month and they haven't hit the bank yet because they're because of timing issue and stuff like that. So sometimes you will have reconciling items, and then you could run a bank statement for the following week, and when you see it coming in, you can complete your bank rec then, showing that it came in a few days later.